Celebrate winning the Lombardi Trophy.
The New England Patriots are the NFL champions.
Brady has his fifth. What a comeback. 6 titles.
Enjoy it, folks. You're never, ever going to see it again. Not in our lifetime.
Well, there are few quarterbacks in NFL history who've minimized sacks as much as Brady and Mahomes. Of all active QBs in the league, Mahomes has the best career sack percentage, while Brady is third. And Frank Clark had some interesting praise for Brady's elusiveness. So listen up, guys. This is what he said. He's got these shoulders. Have you ever seen Tom Brady's shoulders when he's in that pocket? His shoulders are crazy sometimes. Man, to be able to move his shoulders like that, playing in the league for 20, 30-some years, for him to be able to move his shoulders like that still is quite amazing. It's nothing against him, but he's not an escape artist. But it's like, honestly, sometimes he's just as good as Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson is the best. And you watch Tom Brady in that pocket, man, and sometimes you can't tell the difference. You can't. Mike, are Tom Brady's shoulder movements an underrated ability of his to avoid these sacks?
You know what, Jenny, I don't think it's underrated. I think it's evident. We've seen it all season long, and the biggest reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had the success they've had down the stretch after the Chicago game was because of Tom Brady and his movement in the pocket. And, you know, he's just not sliding. He's moving with conviction. You know, he's pushing up. He's pushing out. You know, he's putting himself in a position where he can keep his eyes downfield and not feeling under duress and not panicking. And sometimes improv is not just getting outside of the pocket or pushing up and scrambling to your right. It's the subtle movements that, you know, we have to practice numerously. And, you know, on a lot of different occasions, you know, when you do it, you become comfortable with it, and then it shows up in the game. Being in the pocket is just a natural instinct. You know, we have our eyes downfield, and we're not paying attention to the pass rush. So it's something that we constantly have to work on. And when I look at these clips and I see, you know, Tom moving around, you know, around blocking dummies and doing cone drills, those are things that I didn't do in year 11, 12, and 13. And Tom is showing not only us, but the young quarterbacks, the next generation, how important those things are, and they need to be paying attention to it. So, you know, it's not surprising that Tom is in this game. I've seen him move with conviction, you know, down the stretch, and it's the biggest reason why he's been able to find his receivers and the offense is clicking, because, you know, he's buying that extra time that he didn't have in the first 5 or 6 games of the season, and it's paying off.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mike. You see, Tom, he does a great job of climbing in the pocket. Skip, he does a great job of holding the ball, and what he has is a sense that somebody's about to swipe, and he'll do this.
He does.
Or he'll do that.
Yep.
And but he keeps the ball here, so as soon as he does this, he's ready to throw the ball. So, okay, now I can do this. And the really good ones, like Mike says, they sense it, they feel it. He knows somebody's coming with. It's amazing that he knows somebody's trying to come with the chop and get the ball out, Skip, and he'll roll his shoulder like this, and he's like, I got nothing. And now he comes up and he throws a dart to someone. And so he does.
Frank Clark said that Chris Jones thought he had him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's just swiping it air because he shoulder shimmied him.
Yes.
Right?
That's exactly right. Yes. It's
What?
But Skip, unless you're a real football aficionado, you're not really paying attention like that. You're looking at guys that's getting outside the pocket and they're throwing the ball down the field, but it's the little subtleties. I'm not surprised that Patrick Mahomes has one of the better sack rate percentages, because Patrick Mahomes is mobile.
No.
He can get outside of harm's way. But when you look at...
He's underrated mobile.
Right.
I agree.
But when you look at Tom Brady, who's moved less than the Statue of Liberty in 250 years,
right,
and he has a low sack rate, you're like, wait a minute. But Dan Marino was like that too, Skip. It was just the little thing. He turned him, ball's gone. So Tom has done a great job of that, and it's all about, that's how you survive in this league, Skip. And he knows Tom ain't taking no hit. Skip, if you saw early in the game against Green Bay, they got it. He's like, I'm going down. Hey,
thank you very much.
It'll be second and 15, but you're not going to get no big shot on me.
Nope. So here's what's amazing about this conversation to me. I have the privilege of sitting here across from a Hall of Famer in Shannon Sharpe, and I also have the privilege of speaking down the barrel of the camera to one Michael Vick, who is simply the most spectacular quarterback who ever played professional football. He was the most dangerous, exciting open field runner I have ever seen. That's just me. And by the way, Michael Vick had a much stronger arm than Tom Brady has. Yeah. That's just me. Yet, here we are. We're trying to delve the deepest into Tom Brady's greatness, and we have to focus on his shoulder shimmies because his spectacular is so subtle that it boils down to that. I've always defended Brady, saying he's got some of the sweetest pocket feet I've ever seen, because it's innate, it's sixth sense. I feel the rush, and I have to slide step here just to give me a split second more before I deliver the ball there. Well, it's hard, man, and it's underrated because to the untrained eye, it just comes and goes. You can't grasp it until you see the final score on the scoreboard. That's the only way you can appreciate what the guy is doing. But this sums up Brady's subtle greatness to me. He's not Patrick Mahomes. No looks, no left-handed, no behind the back, no between the legs. He just keeps operating subtly in the pocket and delivering accurate passes very catchably down the field under pressure in the biggest moments. So, Michael, jump back in. How hard is it for you to appreciate Brady's greatness knowing you came from the flip side of Tom Brady?
Yeah, let me just say this first, Skip. Here's what validates what Frank Clark said. And, you know, when I'm thinking about Tom Brady and his pocket presence and the things that he's been able to do, you watch Tom early in the season. I seen Tom flinching a lot in the pocket. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, oh, my God, Tom's getting old. Tom's not comfortable in the pocket. You know, you're seeing ghosts. And it's a joke in the quarterback world. If you watch and film and you see a guy seeing ghosts flinching in the pocket. You know, it wasn't funny when I was watching Tom. I'm like, damn, my man just getting older. And he's not feeling it. 3 to 4 weeks later, he's a totally different quarterback. Confident, pushing in the pocket, pushing strong. You know, just the sixth sense was there. And, you know, from him to go from, you know, struggling in the beginning of the year with that ailment and then finding a way to fix it just solidifies why he's the GOAT and the greatest of all time. When you can go from, you know, getting yourself out of danger, getting yourself out of duress, to being focused and confident in a clean pocket and being sturdy and confident, it solidifies why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. And these young quarterbacks coming up, I'll say it again, I reiterate it, they should feel so privileged to be able to watch film on guys like Brady and Mahomes and Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, because they do it at a high level and they do it with meaning, with a meaning.
When you look at guys that have had great longevity, regardless of the sport, if you just rely on athleticism, as the athleticism starts to wane, so will your career. Tom Brady has never been athletic, Skip, so he had to rely on technique. That's why technicians can stay longer in a given sport than guys that are just pure athletes. You look at Tom. Tom is 21 years, but he's never relied on speed. He's never relied on size. He's never relied on strength. It's the subtleties of the game. You look at Jerry. Jerry was able to play as long as he was because he wasn't just speed. Because so once you take that speed away, what can you do? So Jerry relied on technique. He could get in and out of breaks. He could decelerate, accelerate again, where it wasn't just he's running 4.2. So he was able to play long periods of time. Larry Fitzgerald, you look at guys that play long periods of time, they're not just athletic, they're also technicians. So that's what I tell guys, work on your technique, because I promise you, you might come in running 4.3. There's a great likelihood you're not going to leave running 4.3. It's the subtleties. It was the little head movements, the shoulder movements that kept me at still being able to run routes in year 14, Skip, and get open and catch some touchdowns. So what Brady's been able to do, when you see him going through those dummies, Skip, those are offensive linemen that he's maneuvering through. But he also knows, I got to protect the ball because they might be engaged with a defensive lineman, and they're going to try to get the ball out. He's mastered that. He has a sense to know what's around him. Oh, I'm coming between these linemen. They're probably blocking somebody. Let me protect this ball. Very few times do you see him get the ball out of Tom in a situation like that.
So, to me, bottom line, given that most people believe Tom Brady is the GOAT, he's also got to be the greatest overachiever to me in sports history, given that status, because he's not supremely gifted.
He
in
don't
any
run
way,
fast.
shape, or
He don't
form.
jump high. He's not strong.
He's got a little above average arm, but he doesn't have a huge arm. Yeah, he gets the most that he can get out of it.
Well, we know he's the slowest quarterback. All the quarterbacks that run, he's the slowest one right now, Skip.
Well, you saw that 40 he ran at the combine.
I mean, at his fastest, he's the slowest quarterback ever.
And yet, what did he say? And you thought it was a joke, I think, but he said yesterday, this offseason, I'm going to work on my speed.
It ain't happening. First of all, his shoes too heavy. He wear high-top shoes. You ain't running fast with no high tops on.
Nope. Message to all the young quarterbacks coming up. If you don't want to get joked, don't see ghosts.
Yeah.
Work on your pocket.
Good point.
Such a good point. Mike, it has been such a pleasure all season to have you with us. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the game, and good luck. If you're rooting for the Chiefs, we'll have to see how it plays out on Monday. Next up for us, guys, we're going back to LeBron. Is he actually a better player than he was last year? Lakers super fan and our friend Snoop Dogg will join us next.